Hey, hey, everyone. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Hangout podcast. We go live every Wednesday. My aim is to be able to have great guests that entice you to go further in your business and always be entertaining. So I am talking with my good pal, Nicole Baracco, all the way from Ontario.
Thanks so much for having me.
You got it. You got it. So we're going to dive in deep with the title, but the title of this is Faith Funnels and Freedom Marketing with Purpose and Peace. And I love that because first of all, I love when people are really just out there with that, hey,
Mhm.
I'm a Christian, I'm faith based. And so, Nicole, tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been in business? Why did you get into social media and marketing?
Yeah, so I've been in business for 11 years. I started my business while I was in college, actually. I decided I wanted to pay my student loans off as fast as possible. So I started taking on clients here and there. And by the time I had graduated, I had a full docket of clients. So I was like, you know what? Let's just keep this going and see how it goes. And it's been 11 years. So it's been a lot of fun. I ended up starting just because I took a social media marketing class, fell in love with it. And I was like, you know what, this sounds like a lot of fun actually. So I'm gonna see how it goes. And yeah, I can't imagine doing anything else other than social media.
Okay, I want to do one step back. What did you go to college for?
Office administration. I wanted to be a secretary.
Ah, well, social media marketing is much more fun than a secretary.
A little
Not that
bit, just a little bit.
not that any of the secretaries are not any fun, but you would not want me as your secretary.
That's
That
fair.
is for sure. Okay, so now, how when you put yourself out there, how were you getting clients at the time when you were new? Here you are in college, you're kind of trying to do some things. How did you learn it, and how did you bring in clients at the beginning?
Yeah, so I love telling the story of how I got my first client because it's not at all how I would do it today. There's bits and pieces, obviously, but I had taken a black and white selfie of myself and put it on a light pink background and put gray lettering that is not readable for half the people on the internet, which is fine. Well, not fine, but for me in that moment, I was like, this is beautiful. This is amazing. I had no idea what I was doing. And I put it on Kijiji, which is the Canadian version of Craigslist. And so I put it out there and I was like, hey, offering social media help. And this random person found me. And they lived in Canada, their business was located in the US, and their sister company was in the UK. So I just started right off the bat with a company that was global, which was really
That
cool.
you that was great.
And so I got that first client, and years later, they actually said to me, the reason why we hired you was because we could tell you were a real person. And I thought that was really cool because I was like,
Oh,
that's a piece of my marketing that I think I'll always keep is making sure that I'm real online and authentic online. I show up exactly how I am. And I think that's a really easy way to do your marketing in a way that's makes you relatable, right? So
I like it. So they actually said they could tell that you were a real person.
yeah, yeah.
Did
So I
they
guess
did they
just
expand on that? Like, okay, how, Nicole?
they they literally just said they remember the black and white selfie, and they were like, hey, there's a person behind this brand because
Oh,
every
yeah.
other ad was a logo, and for me it was a black and white selfie. And looking back, I'm like, oh, that's so unprofessional. But in all fairness, like I didn't have social media, like a social media presence at the time. That was my social media presence. And now when I talk to other people about starting their business and everything, I'm like, okay, you need to have a really good, solid social media presence where people can tell you're a
Yeah.
person, not just a
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah.
So I just love that.
That's great. Well, back then, it wasn't, we didn't know what we know now. Like right now,
Exactly.
honestly, it's kind of unfair, but in a way, what do you do about it? Well, you do it. But, if you're gonna have any business, any sort of business, people Google you, they check you out, they go on Facebook, that's the first thing they do. Is
Yeah,
like, and
absolutely.
then images and news to make sure that you haven't been like, I don't know, working with the wrong people or whatever.
Hmm.
I was going to say something, but then I took it right back. So, but they want to check you out. They want to check. So I love that about you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's be real. Okay. So now let's do a little bit of a journey in your entrepreneurial world of like you started your business, you had some clients. Tell us like ups, downs, all arounds. Like what happened?
Yeah, so I started off with a handful of clients, and over time I was like, you know what, I want to take on a little bit more. Paid off my student loans before they were due, which made me very happy because that was the main goal. And I was like, you know what, let's see how much more I can scale, make this a full-time gig. In 2020, I hit the highest point of my business, and I was really like, looking back, I'm like, how did I even do that? But it was it was so much fun. I was working really long hours and things like that, but you couldn't go anywhere anyway. So really,
Yeah.
what did it matter? So
Pour
it
it into
was
your business then.
exactly. So I made my business my hobby and my work and everything else, and um, I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I kind of want to back off just a little bit, not like completely, but I want to have a little bit of a life on top of this. And sure enough, within a little bit of time after that, I met my husband, and we got married and everything else. So life just kind of
How
worked
fun.
out how it was. But yeah, there's been lots of ups and downs in
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, now I'm at a place where it's just kind of steady where I'm at, and it meets the needs of my
Yeah.
business at this time.
I want to say this is like, first of all, I have this funny saying, and you're more than welcome to borrow it. I travel a lot, right? And I can go to my kids. I got kids everywhere, grandkids everywhere, people everywhere. And at a moment's notice, sort of, I also have a dog. I'm a dog mom. But at a moment's notice, I can go and pick up and still work and still do my stuff. So I used to then, I still do laptop lifestyle,
Hmm.
right? And the thing of it is you can do that, but also with being an entrepreneur and self-employed and you're doing it, you can put the pedal to the metal. Or you can also say, hey, you know what? I got to back off because
Hmm.
I've either bit off more than I can chew. I've got a wedding. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to take off 4 weeks and go do. So I'm not going to work as much. That is the most, that's one of the most beautiful things about being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so now you got married, you went through COVID like the rest of us did,
Yes.
and come out on the other side. Where are you finding clients now? Are you word of mouth? Are you doing organic? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm strictly organic with my business. That's where I have the most fun. I guess is where I'm at. I have really started being relatable. That's the main goal. Is
Mm,
just really showing up as like, hey, this is who I am, being more vocal about my faith and that sort of thing, as well as just really trying to get back everything that I've learned
yeah,
over the last like 11 years.
that's great. And so when you say give back and help people learn, do you want
Mhm.
to expand a little bit about that? Because sometimes people are like, oh no, they've got to like, you know, keep it close and they're not going to explain and they're not going to help out. I'm like, hey, more is merrier. The more I help people, the better off we are. So just dive in a little bit there, Nicole.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just it. For the longest time, we were like, "Oh, I'll teach you how to do this," and it was like a little snippet of what I was doing. Somebody asked me to be part of a summit, and I was like, "Sure." So I pre-recorded, obviously the lesson, and it was supposed to be 20 minutes long, and I finished it, and it was 41 minutes long, and I was like, "Oh no, what have I done?" But I literally peeled back all the layers, and I was like, look guys, this, I'm going to show you my to-do list, I'm going to show you all this, and I like step by step by step and walk through exactly what I would
Right.
do in a day, within 40 minutes, to show them like how I kept everything organized, how I was able to create content for a client in a couple of hours versus days, and
Days.
how to stay on top of your social media without doom scrolling and all sorts of things. And so I was like, this was actually so much fun. I want to keep doing this in ways that I can show people how to do it and how I did
Yeah.
it, so they can do it as well.
So you almost did like a little mini workshop.
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
Yeah. That is cool. That is really, really cool. I know, like sometimes, so I do these business booster calls where it's
Mhm,
like a free kind of thing, hang out, talk with me,
mhm,
about 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it might be. And so this is this is my fault. I love it so much that I dive in and I'm like, oh, I give them so much. Truly, honestly, I'm not even tooting my horn. It's a fault of mine. Really, honestly, it's like, oh, okay, so let's do this. But what if we did this, Nicole? That. How to fix this? And pretty soon, you don't need me because I already fixed it all.
mhm. Yep,
I can imagine you're the same. I can
yep.
feel that you are a person that gives back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've done calls with people 3 hours long where I was like, okay, so tweak this and do that, and let's just do it right now so it's done by the time we get off this call. And we end up like redoing their whole social media presence, and I'm like, yeah, that felt so good. And then afterwards I was like, I just lost
Me
myself
too.
a client.
Me too. Me too.
But
Me
you
too.
know what? It makes me really happy. It made them happy, obviously.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those things the coaches would say no, and I happen to be I try to say more of a consultant than a coach, but still, you're like,
Mhm,
"Stop, you're doing too much, you're giving the farm away," you know?
mhm.
So, but everything works out for purpose and peace. So,
Exactly.
let's dive a little bit into that. When we were talking before the show started, you were saying how you want to be able to really be impactful, and you're
Mhm,
kind of gearing toward where is your purpose? Where is your impact? Where do you do that? Can you just give us a little bit of like, first of all, why? I
mhm.
think we know a little bit more about your personality. I think I know the why, but I'd like to hear from you. And how are you on a regular basis trying to focus on that?
Yeah, so I actually and we're gonna be honest and peel all the layers and
Yeah.
everything like that. I got to a point earlier this year where I was like, I kind of want to retire from my business. And I was like,
Okay.
that's really weird to say. And so one of the things that I just had to wanted to do is because I still have clients and I still have
Yeah.
things, but I wasn't like, I'm not gonna actively be looking for clients right now. I was like, if I'm not gonna actively do it, I'm sitting on all this information that somebody else could use to go get their own clients and to be able
Nice.
to grow their own business. And so I was like, if I'm gonna sit on this, I might as well just show everybody. And so being able to like show people how to either do their social media themselves, or showing like other freelancers how to grow their businesses in ways that are going to work, or different ways that I found clients in the past, and teaching them all those things. That's a really big piece of it. I find if you want to stay on top of something, the best way to do that is to teach. And
Mm.
so I was like, I don't want to lose touch of what everybody's doing in social media, because then I'll be like 14 years behind them in 3 months. It moves so fast. So I was like, I need to stay on top of this.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to make this like my end all and be all. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let's just teach people how to do it. And I have my personal brand and everything that I can test things out on, and see how they work. And some things blow up in my face, and it's a blessing somehow, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But no, it's great to be able to support other people and help them, and be relatable in that sense as well.
I love that. I love that. So are you kind of positioning yourself as like now maybe teaching a course or something like that more really on the teaching, or is it just flip it?
It's more. I haven't really decided. Right now,
Yeah.
the main thing is like, if somebody's asking like, "Hey, can you teach this, or can you jump on a call with me?" The answer is always yes. Not
Okay.
always. I shouldn't say
Yeah.
that, because yeah, with my luck, I'll have like 100 people lining
Yeah.
up, and I'll be like, "What have I done?" At that point, we'll just make it a group thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just I'm really trying to focus more on the giving back than
Yeah.
on the consuming side of things.
Hmm.
um, and being able to do that when it comes to my business, and being able to like volunteer at different
Yeah.
like things that like they have my heart, and I'll be like, okay, so I just want to volunteer and do your social media. Like,
Yeah.
does that sound
Yeah.
cool? And that sort of thing. Like that's what makes me happy.
That's great. And a lot of, a lot of nonprofits, like for example, my church, and there's always the person that they,
Mhm.
everybody's like, okay, yes, I can do social media, and hopefully that they can. And usually maybe it works out, but they
Mhm.
do. It takes a lot of little sailors to sail a ship,
Mhm. Yep,
you know?
absolutely.
And if you're not digging into something, I have a nonprofit. I already talked about this. And of course, anybody that listens to me all the time, they know it's called Wings of Growth. I help the formerly incarcerated stay out of a minimum wage nightmare and start their own businesses.
Mhm.
And I want to talk a little bit about this because um, a lot of them, they've been off social media for a while.
Mhm.
So I think a little bit of a how to ease back into it. Of course, their confidence level is down because they
Mhm.
haven't been on it. They probably don't want to start with what they had. They want to start with the clean slate.
Mhm.
And so I think it would be great just to ask, like, and it doesn't even have to be anybody that's listening. Let's say, oh my gosh, I've been so slow. I haven't even done social media for 2 years because I didn't think it mattered. Whatever it is, how do you become more like, okay, it's clean slate, relevant? What would you tell somebody?
Yeah, so the first thing I would do is if especially if you're starting fresh, but even if you're not, um go through and re-optimize your profile. So that means your profile picture, your cover photo, your bios, your about section, all of it. Go through and refresh all of it. And mine's due, honestly. I'm probably going to do it in a week or two and refresh everything all over again.
Mm,
And I just did it in January. But go through and like utilize every little piece of what your profile is. So even like your profile picture and your cover photo, having the ability to put a description in there, fill that part in. Tell people what you do and where, like, give them a call to action. How do you want them to reach out to you? And that sort of thing. Fill all that in because that's going to be your billboard for the next who knows how long. And then from there, I recommend just being super relatable, just like that black and white selfie that we
hmm
talked about. I mean, if you want to use a black and white selfie, you go right ahead. You can even tag me and I'll give you some love in the post.
That's funny.
But in all seriousness, like, um, be relatable. And that's a big piece of what we do with the clients that I have right now too, is we talk about like, what are the things that other people, your audience is going to relate to? And can we really dive into that area?
hmm
At least a couple times a week where people see it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is me. Either they have to share it or they put it on their stories or they send it to their best friend because they're like, oh my gosh, this company knows me. Like, let's do that. We, like, a lot of us who are trying desperately not to doom scroll, but we still do, um we'll look through and we see something, we're like, oh, I have to send this to my husband, I have to send it to this person,
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
constantly sending stuff. Make that content so that
Yeah.
way other people will share your stuff with. And so that's a big piece of what I would do as well. Really start with the building relationship side of things and then focus on the selling once you've kind of built
100%.
relationships.
100%. Amen. I'm like, I tell people, listen, if you cannot if you cannot serve your community, which is, if you don't have a community, it's still, if you cannot serve your people, if you cannot serve your cause, if you cannot serve what you are going after, you're not going to sell to them, period,
Mm-hmm.
end of story. You're not going to do it. It's not about buy my stuff. It's about, hey, collaborating and talking and coming up with that, um again, that, um being as you said, just try to be very
Mm-hmm.
relatable.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Nicole, where do you think that you're going to go with your, oh, let's talk about one thing too. I
Sure.
liked what you said, which is funnels and freedom
Mhm.
marketing.
Yeah. So in terms of funnels, my one of the way my brain works when I'm doing social media is I'm like, okay, cool. We can totally like make posts about your business or whatever, but that's not as fun as being like it is. Don't get me wrong, it is fun for me at least, but I want to see full picture. I want to see, okay, so when they click on this post, where are they going? And why are they going there? And what emails are you sending out? Or what's happening here and there and everything? I like big picture side of things because anybody can make a post on social media.
Yep.
But if it's not going anywhere, if it's not doing anything, then really what's the point? And I've worked with clients in the past who are like, no, I don't want all that. I just want to post on social media. And then 3-6 months in, they're like, this isn't working for me. And I'm like, I know.
I know. I know. I've been there. I feel your pain.
And a lot of times I just don't even work with people like that anymore just because I know it's not going to work. And they're like, I just want to get likes on my Facebook page. And I'm like, but why? What that's not going to get you clients. And like, sure, exposure is fantastic, but we want to like actually get somewhere with it and get leads and stuff like that.
So that brings up a really good, I might be giving you like, I don't know, a good lead magnet. Like, I think that that has so much to do with it because I've been there, you've been there, we've been there. We've said, oh, clients, likes, but it doesn't matter. Likes do not put money in your bank, right? It does not present you the client that's like going to buy. So have you thought about doing, almost like a map? This is the funnel that you really want to build. And it's a funnel. It's not really a funnel, but it is a roadmap. It is a roadmap, where, okay, this is the kind of post you want to be able to do because this is the thing. And then you're going to email them and blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? Have you thought about that? Because I think that could be great.
I've done that on a personal side of things, and sat down with people and built out their entire funnels. And I have a whiteboard, over here where I can like draw it all out, and then I put it in the computer after I've rewrote it a million times and factored everything in, and I put it into Canva and made it all pretty for them and stuff like that. I really enjoy it. That's my brain just geeks out on it.
That's great. Nicole, that's been awesome. Okay, so now, like, I'm gonna ask you a completely off the wall thing of, if you had to say one thing that's going to really, really make you happy about serving others, what would it be?
I guess the main thing is, I've won awards for doing social media and stuff like that, and that's fine and that's great. In high school, I was obsessed with volunteering. I actually maybe not for the best reason, but there was an award I wanted to get at graduation. And I was like, I want this award. So I did so much volunteering that I was known in the community as the volunteer girl. My first interview, they're like, oh, you're the volunteer girl. And I was like, yeah, I am. And I got the job. That was my goal. Was to be that volunteer girl, and I kind of want to get back to that root of that. For a different reason, I suppose now.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want an award for that, but I want to be known as the girl who's like, oh, this person really helped me with this section or with this and that. I want to be able to be the helper, not the person taking the money all the time.
Yeah. But we all do know, Nicole, it does come full circle.
100%. Yeah.
It's when we serve with good intentions, it always comes back to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it. Amen, man. Okay. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap it up. You were an amazing delight. I know that that so much value, so much value. And if you're looking to be a guest on the Entrepreneurs Hangout, you can hit me up. Find me on all the social medias, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere you need to find me, and say, I'm in. I'd like to be a guest. We air every Wednesday at 5:30 Eastern. Oh, I'm sorry. What did I say 5:30? That was another group. 3 o'clock Eastern time. And I'm going to say bye for now.